Adversity is something that I had to learn to come to grips with at a very young age, as I was born with my left eye permanently closed. 10 years of plastic surgery followed, and I didn't really know I had a problem until I got to school. Now, then I realised that kids were so creative because they came up with 100 really cruel names for me, and the two that I heard nearly every single day, well, Lisa, you are so ugly and you look dumb. I was heartbroken. I just ran home from school, threw myself into my mother's arms and said, "It's not fair." Well, my beautiful mother, who was the 13th child raised by her grandmother, who knew all about life not being fair, just took my little face into her hands and said, "Sweetheart, life's not fair." I said, "Is that it?" She said, "No." She said, "If you don't like it, don't do it to others." I said, "That's not fair." She said, "Correct." She said, "You can't change the world. But," she said, "you could make it a little fairer for the girl that sits next to you and maybe the little one behind you." She said, "How about we spend the next 3 weeks seeing if we could make life much fairer for them?" See, what I learned was even though I was the victim, my mother never let me play the victim. She always made sure that I was the solution for someone else's problem. Now, this is a time when we can be the solution for someone else's problem. And I didn't know that my eye was going to be one of the assets of my life that I discovered when I met a young man in year 12 who I thought didn't even notice me. He just walked straight up to me at the school social, stuck his hand out and said, "Hello, I wanted to introduce myself to you. I've noticed that you've been winking at me all night." Well, I did really think I had a handicap, but I had a built-in asset when I changed my mind about the way I heard that story. You know, the story I was telling myself was it was a handicap, and now I started to tell myself that this was an asset and I would build on it for my future. And adversity has become my very best friend, and I'm so grateful for the trouble in my life.